Story time. First thing, got to show you something. So, watch this line. Yeah, that thing over there, that line, it goes from here until up here. Well, let me share you a lovely story about that. Most of the people that I have talked about this thing, and you'll understand at the end because I want to get somewhere. So I'll keep it in the mist somehow in order to make you go a little bit deeper. People usually see the drama in so-called drama stuff, in bad stuff. And whenever I'm talking about this injury and the story of it, without first putting my opinion on it, it's like this or like this, I'm just like with very neutral voice. Well, this happened, and I'm sending like a vibe for the other person to let an opinion out, to see more and more how other people are thinking, their view of the world. And what is going on? First, the story. So, I went through nature alone. And when you go a lot into forests or into fields, something that's really important, it's self-control in totally unexpected situations. When you get more and more into this, and when you start to understand the world and the vibe, you kind of have a feeling of the things. This is gonna happen, this is not gonna happen. And what I'm talking about, it's the so-called dangerous animals. So there is this thing that if you meet a wild pig that's a mother with a kid in a forest, you're fucked. She's gonna attack you, she's gonna blow you off, which is of course it's not true. As for example, several years ago, I was running through a forest, and pretty far from the city, like in the depths of that forest. And at some point there was a big hill with a lot of leaves. It was kind of soft. So what I love to do in that kind of situations, sometimes I love to do dirt boarding, but without a board, so I just go off. And as I went down, at some point I saw a mother with a pig, wild pigs, and when they saw me, they just freaked out and ran away, like no attack, no anything. But sometimes it happens. This one happened with a sheepdog, and what I have observed, it's really a a deciding thing is your mood, how you interact with the environment. What's your mood? What you put out. So what you put out, it's what you get in. And I passed through the ships, and on the other side there were like two dogs. And that day I was really pissed off. So I had like very aggressive vibe. I looked very aggressive to the dogs. And I was like willing to attack them, but I was like not really into it. I was simply angry. But then I was like, whoa, that's not okay. But they already started on that vibe. So I was going back and back and back and back. And the two of them came, followed me, and they were barking and barking and barking as I was walking. And at some point another one came in, and then another one came in, and then that was it. There were four. So the last one was the biggest one. So when there were those three, I was like, well, I feel kind of safe. I feel stressed, but kind of safe. But when the fourth one came in, the biggest one, I was like, I feel fucked. If I don't get out of this, I feel so fucked. That's that kind of situation where your life is on the edge. And they were coming towards me, and I was retreating and retreating and retreating. But my vibe was really full of scarcity at that time. And like didn't had the kind of awareness that I got right now. And at some point I saw a tree. I was very close to the forest because I was in open field. And I was like, okay, so I get close to the tree, I climb the tree, and I'm safe. It's good. And I think that the dogs really felt that. The way that I just looked to the tree, I think they felt the intention, they understood. Because right in that moment, they surrounded me. And at some point, one of them jumped to the right, and I was turning towards him. And right in that moment, the other one just came and bited my hand. So I was fucking shocked. The only thing that I was focusing on is that I was fucking shocked. Now, very interesting to mention, because some people are really, really, really afraid of this kind of life and death situations. That, of all the pain and whatever and da 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 da. And as many times as I got through this, I found something really interesting. So yeah, the stress is really big. But when the stress is really big, what's going on? It's your organism. It's putting all your resources in order to find a way out. So don't think like animals, like let's say gnus, when they are killed by lions, they really don't feel such pain because the adrenaline. And this is the same thing that happened when a dog bited me. the adrenaline came in. So the only thing I was concerned was I have to resolve the situation. I have to get off. Because your body understands that he has to, or it has to, let's not make it a he or a she, whatever. It cannot be like, oh, okay, I'm in pain now. Wait, everybody, I'm in pain. It's very important. I'm sure you're all gonna understand this. Ow, ow, ow. Me. No. The body, your intelligence understand that. And it's very present. It's very powerful. So my next instinct on that point, it's something that normally you wouldn't recommend. But in that kind of situation, it was right to do that. I started to run. And the dogs came after me, and I started to feel the dogs trying to catch my leg, first the left, then the right. And while I was running, it's really interesting how like millions of thoughts, they just go off your head, but it's also clear. It's like it's processing so fast what to do in that kind of situation, because again your life is on the edge. So as I was running, I was like, then awareness came in, and I was like, wait, I'm in hold of this situation. I created it, I recreate it. So that realization was like very fast. In an instant, while I was running, I just stopped and pumped my hands out, watch left, watch right, and send like strong, clear intention to the dog. This has to stop now. And very interesting, the dogs really got it. They really got it. I was like, first thing, pissed off. I was violently attacking the dogs with my energy. And then I was like, whoa, wait, this has to stop. And then I was yelling for a man, and he come with a car, and it was between me and the dogs, and then the whole thing just stopped, and I could walk through the forest. And the story has some interesting points too, how I was using meditation to release the pain and all of that, but that's a story for another time. The thing is that some people see this like, whoa, gosh, it's awful. Look at your hand. That thing, it's so horrible. It's drama. What the fuck? Negative experience, blah, blah, blah. But my view on this, it's like, whoa, what a blessing. What a fucking blessing. Now, first thing, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this is so beautiful. This is like a very good mark on my evolution. It's like some people, they're into pictures. This mark for me, it's like some people, they have tattoos or something that it inspires them. And I have this that reminded me I was in the kind of life and death situation, and I managed to get out of it. And that's really strong. And it reminds me of who I really am. And how it's pain actually like. So the moment you have pain, you also can gain the strength in order to move over. And as I was standing here around, because right now, again, I'm on a field. Um, and somewhere here in the background, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Um, yeah, whatever, it's somewhere in that area. Um, there's some, I don't know how to call the thing from wood where the ships are staying in. Let's call it the wood ship stuff, whatever. I played Zoo Tycoon. Come on, fans. Exhibit. I think the word it's exhibit. I don't know if I'm right, but the word was exhibit. Thanks, Zoo Tycoon. I played 1 and 2. I think. I don't know exactly. Whatever. Uh, so, as I was staying here, I was just meditating, chilling, to see what self-awareness like really can do. Because if you're a human that's on its default, like I've seen so many people, I think it's ridiculous. Girls, for example, some of you're scared of spiders. Really, of really, really innocent spiders, no poison, no death risk, no need for trauma, and all kind of that. And you consider that to be gross. Like really, we live in a society where people abuse McDonald's, abuse the consume of the cigarettes, like so many toxins into the body, and then the spider that lives in a clean environment and it's actually not indulging in eating or stuff like that, you're just so scared of that. And I really want to put this onto awareness, because for example I have some things that I think they're stupid too. Sometimes I have fear of fish. It's silly. It's really silly. But I remember when I was cleaning my aquarium with my mother so many years ago when I lived with her, and at some point she said like, "Hold this fish." I'm releasing the tank in the sink, and I stayed with my hands like this, and then the fish came in, and when the fish touched my hand, ah! I think I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old, I don't know exactly. And then I was like, fuck, and I started to cry. Started to cry over a fucking fish. I was so afraid to hold it in. It's so jelly, it's ugh. Yeah, I know. But this fear, it's stupid. It's so stupid. So, the thing that we have to tend when we have a trauma, we have something that happened in the past, like the example with the dogs, because I was so scared of them at some point. I was like aware of it. Okay, this thing is in my mind. Like several people could get in a situation with dogs, and they could have like different experiences. But me, yeah, I was attacked. That was a version of me. But another version of me, it's a version that's really calm. So today the dogs came in. I felt like the impulse. It was like really small because I was in an aware state. And I was just chilling, just laying down. And there were like 5 dogs. The alpha male was in the front. They were all barking. And I was inviting them into my field. I was like, okay, come in. And what's happening the dogs see like this guy is not a threat, so we can leave. It's fine. Sometimes they just come and you can whatever pet them, and it's like, yeah, we make new friends. And sometimes they're just not interested and they leave. And here's the thing about animals and people in general. Whenever you feel anxiety, the others can feel that. And anxiety in you means danger for the other one. Because if you're anxious about something, you may have like a reflex to attack that thing that's coming in. And that's really the point. If you're just calm and you just chill around, they don't see you as a threat and they just leave you alone. I'm not saying there aren't higher levels of this. Like, I think that when you can have like a very high level of self-mastery, you can walk and from a sudden a tiger comes in and do the same thing. And the tiger will be like, okay. Because naturally, I don't think that we are seen as food for animals. I don't have a clear vision on what we really are in relationship with animals that are eating meat. So I can only speculate. You can leave your opinions in the comments. So first of all, they live in the wilds where most of the things are so ecological, if it's not about a place where it's human intervention. And we come from cities, we are surrounded by technology, and technology usually spreads out some really low vibe. Like, have you ever observed, I have observed, when I go a lot in nature and I stay, let's say, for a whole day, and then I stay a lot on the internet, and my mood is going down, like so heavy. And it also matters the content that you're watching. Like, it's one thing I'll give you my personal stuff, to watch some nature documentary, something about the Buddha, the illumination, how to release more love to the world. And it's another thing to listen to some aggressive music, to watch some movies with fights and killing and so on. So it's like very, very different vibe. And another thing in the cities, I was mentioned before about the toxic foods, the toxic liquids that we take in, toxic mentality, the air that's so polluted. There are like a lot of stuff. So the animal may just, I think they feel it. Like, if I eat this thing, I'm gonna feel like really down. So I should just leave it. Better not to get in contact with that someone. And maybe when they see someone that it's really self-aware, and they're like, wow, I'm a tiger, and this human, it's really chill around me. No, respect. Respect, great. I'm gonna just leave him alone instead of just being anxious around the animal, really nervous. It's like the tiger just gets pissed off and may want to attack you. and it's something I've seen with cats. Like when I see a cat and I go towards her, and the cat runs, sometimes I have this drive to chase the cat, to be like, ah, fuck you. And if the cat is just chill, I'm like, okay, I'm just petting the cat, or I leave her alone. So this instinct of chasing something that's running because of you can be really strong. And taking the fact that animals, I don't think they practice self-awareness, yeah, it can turn like pretty bad. And yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, good speech. Peace, bliss, love what it is, and remember that the energy that you hold in is gonna spread out. Your external reality, it's a reflection of what is happening in here. So, if you may ask, yes, I think the same thing works with dating a woman or a man. It's true that everyone responds to vibe. Just express yourself, and of course that you need also practice, also inner work. The same thing with money, the same thing with exercising, the same thing with really everything. So that's it. Put the work in, see results. Out. I'm out here in nature. You.